Guten Morgen, alle.
Welcome everybody, bright and early to this year's Prenote. Congratulations to all of you hardcore Drupalists, that's right, now you're hardcore, who made it out of bed in time. You are officially doing DrupalCon right.
So, the Prenote is the Prenote is the all singing, all dancing, lederhosen wearing, and occasionally French horn playing
everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jam Maguire.
As I was saying, this is what we love about DrupalCon. Hands up if you have ever been to a Prenote before. Hands up if this is your first Prenote.
Thank you for being here.
Buckle up. This is not your usual conference fare.
So, this year, in the home of Wittgenstein, we thought we'd ask the deep question.
Why are we all here?
No, seriously, why are we here at DrupalCon? Why do we Drupal?
Where's the third mic?
Rob has it.
Rob had the third mic. Oh,
It's on
thank
the
you.
table. Have a mic.
So, this has been a hard year for the Drupal community, but even in the worst of it, we all made and we all continue to make the trip to DrupalCon. Why? Why is Drupal so important to us?
So, to talk about why we're here, let's talk about where we came from, something about what we're all about.
Let's start at the very beginning.
No, not yet. Shh.
Come on. Don't you Austrians hate that show?
Okay, so I'm gonna go first. My first DrupalCon was a huge eye-opener for me. I'd been using Drupal since 2005, but it wasn't until 2009, till '09, it's cool to say it that way, until '09 that one of my friends dragged me to DrupalCon Paris. I remember I saw Moshe Weitzman's session. Oh, I see, there in my speaker notes. I saw Moshe Weitzman's session about Drupal 7's take on rendering and theming, and it blew my mind. I went to a BOF about multilingual where some guy named Gabor blew my mind. I remember I got so excited at Jen Lampton's session about WYSIWYG. I went up to her after the session, I introduced myself, and I promised that I was going to write the patch for image handling and image insertion in WYSIWYG. And I went home and I submitted that patch. Never. Actually, I've avoided Jen ever since because I know I'm the only person ever to not deliver on a contribution I'd promised.
Now, the funny thing about that is literally to get this photograph of Jen Lampton, I had to email her because Cam is still avoiding her.
I couldn't, I promised her a patch in 2009 and I still haven't delivered it. Jen, are you out there? I'm just working on, I'm just working on the tab spacing. Any day now.
So, talking about first times, at DrupalCon Chicago, we cut the branch to start building some version of Drupal that got done like right away. Who even remembers what version that was? Who does know what version that was? Yeah. Camilla.
You're calling her out?
Yeah, we opened the branch for Drupal 8 in 2011. So there was another first at DrupalCon Chicago. This guy, Robert Douglas, and I got up on stage in a sort of a community time before the keynote, along with a Drupal brass quintet and all these other people, doing all these little skits and stuff. When we put on Blues Brothers hats and black suits, and we told really, really dumb Drupal jokes, and everybody sat there going. And then we had to remind them that those were the jokes, and then we did the very, very first ever Drupal song parody this was sort of the Prenote. This is the first time we did this, which we've been doing ever since, and which is something that we love to get up here and be here at 6 in the morning every DrupalCon Tuesday, let me tell you. So we put on these hats, and I sang a song based on Doe a Deer from The Sound of Music, and here we're going to have it in the 2017 remix version. Click it again. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. When you code, you begin with PHP. Hypertext preprocessor C. PHP. Composer and Symphony. Let me see if I can make it easier. Node, a type of entity. View, a content list display. Block, some content in a box. Theme, the presentation layer. Git, so it's easy to go by. Classes, organize your code. T or power when you have. That will let us make more nodes. So we've learned all about dependency injection, object-oriented code. Now we're going to sing this song in Drupal 8. Node, a type of entity. View, another entity. Block, into an entity. Themes, make pretty entities. Git, it's not an entity. Class defines your entity. Tea or cola or coffee. That will let us make more. Let us make more nodes.
Okay, I think we get the point. Drupal has brought us a lot of new experiences. Making a prenote for Jam and, next slide, not submitting patches for Cam. But for some people, Drupal is about other things.
That's right, and I'd like to get a special guest up here with us to talk about it. Everyone, please welcome Deepak Yadav from India. Hi, Deepak. Come stand over here. I am a left-handed microphoner, so that works better for me. Hey, so where were you in your life when you discovered Drupal?
So let me give you a timeline of events. 2011, my last year of college, and I did a Drupal project. I just spent a couple of months with that, but 2012, my final year results, and I actually failed in a couple of subjects.
You failed a couple of subjects at college. Yeah. That wasn't so great. And how did your job prospects look at that point, failing out of school?
Very bad. I was actually jobless for more than a year after that. But I remember working in Drupal, and I stuck with it. And next year I found a good job, very good job, in Drupal.
And how long have you been doing Drupal now?
It's more than 5 years now. Sorry? More than 5 years.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Pretty great, right? Thanks, Deepak. So, I would like to introduce you to Kevin Callan. Kevin Kevin comes from the Jersey Shore and Los Angeles and Norway and Slovenia. Kevin, can you say hello in all 4 of those languages?
Sure. Hello, hello, hi, Juyo.
Hey. So, if I recall right, you started using Drupal about the time you moved to Los Angeles. When was that?
A couple years earlier, mid-2007.
Mid-2007. What were you doing with Drupal?
I was volunteering, and they said, we're going to use Drupal. So, you know, the boss.
Right. How many of you started Drupal because your boss said, here's this thing? Haha. And how many of you are happy about your boss doing that? So, you were doing some Drupal in Los Angeles, and you heard that there was a rock star coming to town.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I had started going to meetups recently in Los Angeles for whatever reason. I guess maybe I was like contributing a bit, and I was co-maintainer on a contributed module, so I was starting to get into the community more. And then Angie was doing her WebChick tour in 2011.
So, you thought maybe you'd go to this thing and you'd see her give a talk, and how did that day go down?
Well, just network and stuff, and yeah, I talked to her and like somehow was saying like, oh, I want to learn about contributing to core, or like I'm doing contrib, but I want to do core, and then she like sat down with me and explained stuff for a little while, and that was cool.
So how long was that? What did you talk about?
I don't know, 15, 30 minutes or something, but we just talked about like CVS and, you know, the technical stuff.
Awesome. And now you're a core contributor and still doing all this stuff, right?
Core contributor. I do have seven patches on Drupal core.
Thank you, that is awesome. And thank you, Angie, if you're up, you're not usually up at this time of the day, for inspiring Kevin to go on to that and being so generous with your time. Is Jen Zramek in the house? Hey. Jennifer is a project manager from San Francisco. How are you this morning?
I'm well, a little tired, jet lagged.
Tell us about your background and how that brought you to Drupal.
I was in the nonprofit world. I worked with lots of environmental organizations, the food pantry, and was always kind of the most technical person in the room, so they always made me manage the website.
They made me manage the website. When we were preparing this Prenote and discovering people's Drupal stories, you wrote a couple of things that I found really, really inspiring. Could you tell us about the little town called East Palo Alto and the project you were involved there?
Yes, I had the opportunity to work with a group of about 15 at-risk youth from East Palo Alto, which is a low-income community near Stanford University in Silicon Valley. And they were building a digital main street and used Drupal. So myself and my colleague helped coach them through that process.
So everybody kind of knows the name Palo Alto because of Apple and Silicon Valley, but it is by far not all wealthy and all high tech. So East Palo Alto has a lot of economic problems, a lot of societal problems, and they were building this digital main street because they didn't really have an actual main street or streets that were safe for people to socialize and be a community, right? And so how did that project work out? What were the sorts of people that were doing that, and what came of it?
These were mostly Latino youth who lived in Palo Alto. They were part of an after-school program with a woman who worked with schools. And they built about 18 Drupal websites. A couple of them are still doing Drupal. And they capped it all off by presenting at DrupalCon 2009 in San Francisco. There were lots of people there at the session, and really amazing. They got mobbed after by people from youth programs and stuff who wanted to hear about their experience. So it was really gratifying watching them get some.
Fantastic. So you really turned their lives around. You were part of that. Yeah, and that Drupal thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jen. Prasad Shigonka from Pune, India. Good to see you this morning, Prasad. Hey, so Prasad has been making a difference to a lot of people's lives as well with Drupal. Talk about running your own little Drupal shop in Pune.
So I was running a small, like 15 people, small shop in Pune for about 4 years, and we could at that time deliver Drupal projects to people from almost 12 countries and 8 different languages with Drupal. But while doing that project, one of my clients actually, big companies asked me, instead of delivering project for us, can you actually build my team teach my team. So I went there and I had no formal background in training. I created a curriculum for them and trained there like 25 people for like 5 days fully. And while doing that, I realized I'm much better at explaining Drupal than delivering Drupal.
Who feels like that late on Thursday evening?
So, but actually that I realized that it's my calling to, instead of doing projects, actually helping people deliver projects in Drupal. It's something which I should do, and I have been doing that for last almost 4 years now.
And then a young man named Dries came to India and went to several Drupal camps. Talk about how you became the first member of the Acquia certification team in 2013.
When Dries came, we met Dries and Jacob Singh in Drupal Camp Mumbai and just had some interaction. And when Jacob came to set up Acquia in India, he knew that I was doing training. So he asked, can you actually be a part of Acquia's team? And we are thinking of building certification program for Drupal. So I just joined and became a part of like first member of certification team and have been doing certifications for last 4 years in Acquia.
And what's the result of this certification? Like, what's the reach of the certification program now?
Certification program today, we have 6,000 registrations from over 97 countries, of which we have given about 5,000 exams people have given, and over 3,000 certifications earned by people. The way it's helping people is developers, the new developers are getting jobs, existing developers are actually getting raises or promotions. Small companies from some small countries in the world are actually able to bid for larger projects internationally because they have certifications, and larger companies are actually able to build much more capabilities within their organizations and do much larger projects. So it's absolutely thrilling to see the impact that we are having at Drupal, that what we do on literally thousands of people around the world. So absolutely thrilled.
Thank you so much, Prasad. So, mentorship is a big thing in Drupal, and for so many of us, I remember when I started learning Drupal, it was at Robert Douglas's kitchen table in 2005. Yeah. But I think one of my greatest learning experiences, frankly, was when I learned about Git. And I'd like to say that everything that I learned about Git and that I know about Git to this day, I learned from Ben Finkley dressed as the Octocat.
So we'd like to do some mentoring here this morning. And you can all go home with your Prenote Git certificate, which will help you get raises and bid for bigger jobs. Right? So this is a lesson that we first gave at DrupalCon Austin with Ben dressed as Octocat, and it's still one of my favorites, version control 101. Let's have a show of hands. Who here is ready to learn about Git? That wasn't loud enough. Who's ready to learn about Git? Then everybody
Good. Now get up out of your chairs. Stand up.
Stand up. So there are some actions for this next song. You probably know the tune already. So everybody follow along with Vanna, Adam. Git push your patches in. Git pull your patches out. Git push your patches in, and then you fork them all about.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands, very important. You diff your latest changes. Very important to turn around in one spot here. And then you merge into a branch. That's what Git's all about. Git push your patches in, Git pull your patches out, Git push your patches in, and you fork them all about. You diff your latest changes and you merge into a branch. That's what Git's all about. Louder. You put your patches in, Git pull your patches out, Git push your patches.
Hold on. Wait. That was a practice. Now we're going to do it for real.
Practice.
That was the practice run.
I got so carried away. You guys were very good at that. Give yourselves a hand.
All right,
Clearly,
now
this is a
for
very
real.
clearly, this is a very intelligent crowd this morning. Let's go right to the actual song now.
Let's do it.
You push your patches in, you pull your patches out, you push your patches in, and you fork them all about. You differentiate changes and you merge into a branch. That's what it's all about.
Again.
You push your patches in, you pull your patches out, you push your patches in, and you fork them all about. You differentiate changes and then you merge into a branch. That's what it's all about.
One more time. Or not.
No more time.
I feel like that happens on every one of my branches. One more commit. Funny story about that song. When I was flying home from Austin, it turned out we had a critical mass of Drupalists on the plane. And they saw me on the plane, and we ended up singing the Giddy Pokey. I don't know what the other passengers thought.
So another reason, another motivation, another really important part of Drupal is helping. Well, you know, we help people in so many ways, but a lot of us help people professionally, and I find in my career it really helps to think of myself as a helper in doing this sort of thing. And I'd like to talk with two people about helping professionally now. Alex Burrows from London, where are you? Alex representing with the London Bulldog. Yes. Hey, so you're the only person I know who comes to a DrupalCon and tries to have a run-in with the local police every time. Why is it that you do that?
Well, I like to see the local community.
So what is your hobby?
So outside of Drupal, I'm a special constable, which means I'm a voluntary police officer.
Yeah, and so Alex, in New Orleans, in Baltimore, all over the world he goes, he gets in touch with the local police departments and asks to go for a ride along and you know, meet his friends and colleagues from that world. So I think that means helping is really a big deal to you, right?
Yeah.
What's Drupal given to you over the years?
Well, Drupal's given me a job. Most of my friends on Facebook are from Drupal. It's just, yeah, I've come for the code and I've stayed for the community.
No? Yes. Hey, and speaking of helping people, Alex, give us your shameless plug.
So I've just finished writing a book on Drupal 8, which is basically teaching you to build 7 types of websites. It's basically using as little custom code as possible so people can see how powerful Drupal core is with a few contrib modules.
Excellent. That's the book that I'm going to read now to get caught up on all that other Drupal 8 stuff. While I was busy practicing my dependency injection, I'll get up to the higher level. The other thing you do, Alex, you're on the organization team of DrupalCamp London. Pitch DrupalCamp London to us.
So DrupalCamp London is the biggest Drupal camp in London. We've been running 5 years. We're going to be bigger and better this year, and we're the only supporting camp of the Drupal Association, so we want to keep that up. And finally, the event is on the 2nd to the 4th of March 2018.
Woo, thank you so much. Patti Breidert from Reykjavik and Frankfurt. How are you this morning?
I'm very good, thank you.
Woo. So, what is it that, when we were talking about your experience in Drupal, you told me what the highlight was, and it was different from anyone else's.
It is basically, I have met so many people from different countries, from Vietnam, from India, from Nicaragua, Costa Rica, United States, Canada, Belgium, Holland, France, wherever, all the way.
Buddy and her husband run a Drupal shop called Einmal Internet in Frankfurt, and of course you help clients and so on. But the thing that fascinates me about your company is the makeup of your employees and how you get employees and how you help them.
Yeah, so we have 20 employees of, I think, 14 nationalities.
20 employees, 14 different countries.
Yeah. And we speak English, because otherwise it would not be possible. So we have we basically invite people to come, and then we help them also organize the visa, and we have apartments that they can then, when they come to Frankfurt, they can go and they don't have to look for an apartment because it's difficult to find an apartment. Yeah. So we help them with all that. And the families of these people, they also then come with them, or they also support their families, where there are guys there from Ukraine, there's from Pakistan now recently. So from all over, they come to us.
That's so amazing. Thank you so much. Can I see a show of hands who'd like to work in a Drupal shop in Frankfurt? Yeah, so you need to talk with Buddy this week. She's hiring. Hey, so Chris and Rakesh, let's have another microphone. So Chris Urban, Rakesh James. Chris is my good Drupal friend from Philadelphia, and Rakesh is from Kerala in India.
Say hello, Rakesh.
I'm fine.
So Rakesh and I had a conversation about how Drupal changed our lives. Rakesh, when did you start using Drupal?
2009.
2009, so I'm probably about 2008. Are you still using Drupal now?
Yes, pretty much everything. Okay.
Yeah. What don't you use it for? Just kidding. So, when you started with Drupal, what was your first contact with the Drupal community?
Yeah.
Do you remember when that was?
Yeah, it's. I started with the Drupal 5. I was not finding in my career a very good way. So I got an opportunity to work with the Drupal project. I started installing Drupal 5. I got a bigger, then I put it into Drupal.org. But then I found the awesome stuff in my life, like all the other side of the planet. Somebody came and replied me in 1.5 hours, say, better you start with the Drupal 6. Oh, then I started. That's why I love this community. That's why I understand this community is awesome. You can grow it.
That's awesome. So reaching out and hearing from somebody on the other side of the world. Awesome. I remember going to my first meetup in Philadelphia. Anybody else here from Philadelphia? Yes. I walked in and I'm like, whoa, more nerds. This is awesome. I'm not alone. So having that feeling, that's just fantastic. Do you remember, this is not your first DrupalCon. What was your first DrupalCon?
DrupalCon Asia.
DrupalCon Asia. That was the first one in Asia. Yeah. Do you remember your favorite moment from that?
Yeah, entire my life I'll remember. Yeah, this is what my favorite moment, and I was volunteering for the giving name badges. I was standing and somebody come and asked me start with the B, the last name. Then I took the badge and I saw someone is standing very tall.
How tall? Yeah. How tall?
It's very tall, and like I stared at him like a minute. Then I didn't give the badge. Then I'm saying sorry. You are my hero, so I want to take a picture with you.
Is this person here? Do you remember who that was?
Yeah, standing there, sitting there. Yeah.
Dries. So yes. Dries came to you and got his name badge. That's fantastic. Yeah. So I remember. Have you ever tried playing saxophone as a crustacean in New Orleans?
No.
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 All kidding aside.
Is that really your favorite DrupalCon moment?
That might be.
We suckered him into dressing like a crawdad and playing saxophone on stage in the Prenote in New Orleans.
In all seriousness, we want to talk about Drupal Heroes. When I got the chance to participate with this group, and there's plenty of others, you have no idea how strong of a group and how awesome these guys are. Everybody, you should give a hand to everybody who's involved with Prenotes in the past. It's just so... Triple hug. So, if it weren't for Drupal, I would probably be still in a dark room, sitting alone, trying to migrate a Java-based XSLT template-based Windows NT looking POS, totally non-logically organized.
You mean a POS? You mean a CMS?
No, POS. POS. Positively obscene. system. I had to migrate it into something less than serious. So thank goodness for Drupal. All right, so what do you think is the single most important thing about Drupal?
The community, the people in the community, DA, then obviously the man sitting there.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Rakesh. Give it up for Rakesh.
Thank you guys very much. So, Vienna is the city of classical music, so you weren't going to get away without singing a few opera songs with us here. Go ahead. If you know this one, feel free to sing along, but if you don't, it is your job to rock back and forth.
In your seats.
I'm not seeing enough rocking. Come on, guys. Left, right.
Excellent. Hum along.
What's so dear, it's brought us here, community. Not just flair, it's why we care, community.
Drupal's never simple, issues without end. But one thing unites us all, we're here with friends.
We got to Drupal hate, it's true a little
late, and now it's taking flight. We still might code all through the night.
We will do the best we can, and though the lyrics may not scan, we'll sing it to the end. Because we're friends.
And rock.
Now everybody, I'd like you to look at your neighbor on the left and look at your neighbor on the right. Even if you've never met them before, these people are your friends. You're here at DrupalCon together because you share something in common. So everybody together, rock from side to side with your neighbor.
Drupal's never simple, issues without end. But one thing unites us all, we're here with friends.
Wow.
Yeah? Yes.
Thank you, Drupal friends. I'd like to invite our hosts to the front of the stage now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Drupal Austria community.
Hello, I'm Nico.
We needed a slide for that.
Det er det. Ulrike, mein Name.
Grüß euch, ich bin's der Luki. You can call her Uli, by the way.
Servus, grüezi, ich bin der Josef.
Servus, ich bin's der Arne.
Welcome to Vienna.
To Vienna.
Vienna is often quoted as one of the most livable cities in the whole of the world wide.
Dude, stop that. Nobody talks like that.
Get to the chopper?
No, not even Arnie.
Okay, so Vienna is often quoted the most livable cities in the world.
But we locals know that it's not true. It's really hard, and yeah, you can survive out there. But
So we want to share some survival tips to get you through this week in Vienna.
The first survival tip, speaking Viennese.
Oder?
We have good news for you. Speaking Viennese is really, really easy.
let's try a few simple phrases. So, well, I show you the English phrases, and then you repeat after me, and so you will learn the Viennese. So like, come over here, it's like, Oida! Again. Oida! That's good.
That works.
Oida means a bit of everything. For example,
Oida! And like, this is harder. Oida! Oida!
Repeat after us. Let's hear it.
So, let's get to one that's actually useful on DrupalCon. Go with me.
It's also very important to behave like a local. This means eat as much schnitzel as possible.
And give it up for SchnitzelCon.
More schnitzel!
It's really not easy. There's a schnitzel around every corner, and it's so lecker.
By the way, Jam, how was your first schnitzel?
My first schnitzel in Vienna was fantastic, but I had a small problem.
But what? What was the problem?
I couldn't pay for it because,
What? Why?
as a savvy international traveler, I pulled out my credit card.
We don't trust credit cards so much over here. We only trust what we can see and what we can touch. Ooh.
by the way, if you can pay with a credit card, it's probably a touristy place.
So, anything you've experienced so far in Vienna?
I wanted to try this famous Apfelstrudel.
Apfelstrudel?
Apfelstrudel.
I love Apfelstrudel.
Do you now? It tasted great, but
But what?
well, I don't know. Every restaurant I've been to in Vienna so far, the waiter seems to be having a terribly bad day.
That's his job. Vienna is famous for its grumpy waiters. If they smile at you even once, they might just lose their job.
Oida.
So, but Drupal Austria is really a nice community. And we all have
open minds.
Can we make a shameless plug?
Oida.
We're really excited to share the Viennese culture with everyone here at DrupalCon. We prepared a special community party for you tonight.
Don't miss this one. Don't miss it.
It's not just going to be any party, it's going to be a Viennese ball.
Woo!
And we're gonna have gifts for you.
So, 1, 2, Oida! 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 Oida!
So we have local live bands, DJs playing all night long, and we have a special band. We are not allowed to announce it, but they were awesome.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. We also guide you through the traditional dance, the midnight interlude or quadrille.
The ball is gonna be at Museumsquartier.
It's really easy to get there.
Just take you two from here to the Museumsquartier.
Yep, there are going to be lots of places nearby to grab food, so you don't need to worry about getting food first.
And there's one special thing. Really don't miss the special grand opening by Jam. Give it up for him.
Also, join us at the Drupal Austria booth to find more out about the ball and get some local tips while you're here in the city of Vienna.
We're looking forward to hosting you tonight.
Woo!
Hasta la vista.
Baby.
Thank you, Drupal Austria. See you all tonight at 8 o'clock at the official party. So, let's have one more bit of Viennese culture.
DrupalCon, you've won my heart. It's
to sow. Wherever I am going, there's pleasure in the knowing.
In every city that I go to, there are people that I know too.
You and you. How wunderbar, we're from near and from far.
London, Prague, and gay Paris, and as far as Beijing.
One Drupal family, all together, let's sing. Everybody. DrupalCon, you've won my heart. It's been a while, I've missed you all. DrupalCon, it's time to start. We're here in England and abroad. Beautiful song. I'm alone and I'm right along. So let us sing here at DrupalCon. Our Drupal family
Campbell Vertesi, Adam Duran, thank you so much. And I would also like to thank every one of you for coming. Thank you for being Drupal and giving so much to the world. I want to express my special thanks to everyone on stage today, everyone who's helped. Please, thank you to Ellie Ludwigsen, Nancy Bears, Campbell Vertesi, Robert Douglas, Adam Duran, Deepak Yadav, Prasad Shagankar, Jens Ramik, Chris Urban, Kevin Collin, Alex Burrows, Buddy Bryder, Rakesh James, Nico Greenauer, Uli Strommer, Joseph Dabenik, Lukas Bachler, and Badish Tosun. Thank you.
One of the greatest things we've done together is grow this outpouring of community love that we call the Prenote.
We've done operas, we've done yodeling lessons, we've done competitions.
But one question we get a lot is, do we have a favorite number?
Well, of course we don't. Prenotes are like children to us. We love them all equally.
I could never have a favorite, except there is one number that my inner princess loves.
Jam, just let it go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nancy Beers.
The screen goes blue, I don't know what to do. Although we're in the blue, I'm working in isolation in my parents' basement room. Dispatches jumble, my brain feels so numb inside. Couldn't write it myself, heaven knows I've tried. I wish there was some kind of way to meet the people going with every day, and see their face to say hello. So I'll go. DrupalCon, DrupalCon, meet your friends from far and near. DrupalCon, DrupalCon, take them out and have a beer. Sprint with friends, build unity, and we say it out loud. We come for the code, but we stay for community. It's funny how in person everyone is just so nice, and the problems that we work on don't have to be solved twice. It's time to see what we can do. precious track for every interest you've got. Our bus are swirling round with conversations deep in thought. As winds will bring together people near and far. We are all open source. This is who we are. DrupalCon, DrupalCon, meet your friends from far and near. DrupalCon, DrupalCon, take them out and have a beer. Friends with friends, build unity, and we say it out loud. We stand for community! For community!
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the Dries note.